Hey everyone, Sean Carpenter here with Wilner and O'Reilly Immigration Lawyers. Today we are going to be answering some of the most common questions that we have been hearing recently from people.
Should I wait to see the results of the election before starting the immigration process?
People ask us this all the time. Should I wait and see who wins the presidential election before I start? My opinion on that is no, there's no reason to wait. The immigration laws are laws. They are created by Congress. A new president can have influence on certain things, can make executive orders. But for example, if you came to the United States with a visa and are marrying a US citizen, you are eligible to adjust status. A new president or a different president cannot change whether or not you're eligible for that. So if you are eligible for an immigration benefit now, there is no reason to wait and see what happens. You should apply and move forward with your process.
What is VAWA and why am I hearing about it lately?
VAWA has been a very popular topic lately. VAWA is a type of case where it is limited to if you are married to a US citizen or permanent resident and there is some type of abuse or mistreatment from your spouse towards you, and that can be emotional, verbal, or physical. And you can apply for VAWA, which is a permanent residency process, a green card process. It can also be done, and this is what we're hearing more about lately or having more questions about, is if you have a US citizen son or daughter who's 21 or older who has been abusive or mistreated you in one of those three ways, then you can also apply for VAWA that way. It's become very popular because if you have entered the United States undocumented and your son or daughter is 21 and a US citizen, they can't really help you without you leaving and waiting 10 years outside of the US. So through VAWA, you can avoid that and you're able to move forward with the process. So it's become very popular, but it's very important to remember there does have to be some type of verbal, emotional, physical abuse towards the immigrant in those situations to be able to qualify. It's not just, oh, my kid's 21, I'm gonna do VAWA. And that's kind of the feeling that people are getting. People are hearing so much about it and they feel like it's, oh, I can just do VAWA and I don't have to worry about any of the other issues. When that's really not the case. You still have to prove through certain types of evidence that there is that type of mistreatment. However, it does not require a police report like a U visa requires.
Can I still file for VAWA after I have been divorced?
So if we're talking about VAWA through marriage, you're married to a US citizen, there's an abusive situation there and you decide you want to apply for VAWA. You can apply while you're still married, you can apply after divorce, you can apply while you're still living together or after you're separated. You can apply for VAWA at any time. However, when it comes to the divorce question, you have to submit your VAWA application within 2 years of your divorce being finalized, which is very important. If you go more than 2 years after the divorce, you're no longer eligible for VAWA, and that can be very bad situation for people who had a great VAWA case otherwise. And something else very important for that is to remember that if you remarry while you're doing VAWA, the VAWA application will automatically be canceled. So keep that in mind as well.
Do I have to leave the United States to complete my VAWA case?
That is why it is so popular right now, because the answer is no. Someone who entered the United States undocumented and marries a US citizen, typically they would have to go through a petition, a waiver or pardon process, and then leave the United States and go to what we call a consular processing appointment abroad in their home country. It's a very long process. People don't want to risk leaving because what happens if they're denied, then they're not able to come back in. VAWA allows people to apply for adjustment of status if they are approved and they're otherwise eligible, which is a process that's all inside the United States. So it's a huge benefit for people who qualify. We do a lot of VAWA cases and we're very good at doing them. If you think you might be eligible, you should reach out to us and we can evaluate your case and see if it's something that you might be able to do.